What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Now, we're currently in the interim stages between two live debates, so I will pass over to the Discord and Skype panels so you can enjoy the dulcet tones of whoever is in there while I set up for the next live show. Don't all talk at once.
Are we good now, Nathan?
You need to back off your mic a little bit, John.
How about that? Is that a little better?
Yeah, I turned you right down, but you're distorting. It's because you're too close.
How about, yeah, I'm not too close. How about now?
Perfect. I can turn you back up a little bit again.
That's cool.
That's right now. I'm not, it's just regular mic. It's just Discord.
Sure.
Yeah, you might want to lower the volume in your settings a little bit there.
I already adjusted my settings. I've been in Discord now for about 8 months. I think I know what the settings are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's annoying that it
So
starts...
is that better, Nathan?
Yeah, much better. It's just annoying that it starts everybody at 100% volume, so you can't turn anybody up. You can only turn them down. Well, if someone's too quiet, what are you supposed to do?
Let's work with Betty on that. We can get this
it out.
sharper, and over the next week or so, we can get a lot sharper.
You could go to each individual and right-click on them and put the volume higher or lower.
No,
Yeah, that doesn't help.
It starts at 100%. So everyone I go to starts at 100%. So I can only turn people down.
Nathan, are you
whatever
live
it's
right
got,
now?
it's got to do with you, Nathan.
So
Everyone
I
else
got a
knows
question
you're
for
okay,
Pete.
but you're coming through shit.
You there?
How about Zanuck?
Yeah, he was the
He
one
was
that was
talking,
causing
John,
all
when you
those
were on.
problems before. Did you get your mic stuff squared away, Zanuck?
I rebooted the computer. It seems like it's okay now. So is it clearer? Is there any distortion or feedback?
Sounds like you got a vacuum cleaner in the background. Other than that, you sound all right.
Maybe it's...
Just got to try and
now?
keep yourselves on mute if
Getting a
you're not
little farther
actually
away
talking.
Is that better?
It's a little better.
There's also push to talk on here, so if you need to do that.
Yeah, if you
I could
push the
download
talk,
that
there
app.
could be some. Yeah. Hey, Pete, you around? Oh,
fire
Pete.
away. Yeah, fire away.
Hey, yeah, I seen you on a hangout the other day, and they were getting you involved in trying to figure out what level was. Did you finally figure that out after 3 hours?
Of course, man. Sure, we knew that from the start. But what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? Like, I mean, if you're going to engage with these people, you'll try to sort of beat them at their own game in some sense by debating them or pointing out the ridiculousness of the position that they hold. So, of course, yeah, level. We know what level is, John.
I liked it when you said, hey, go ahead and hit the find button and put flat in, right, into the document, into Merriam-Webster. And how many flats came up in the definition of level? What, 14?
I actually did see that
These
too.
guys were stepping and fetching. Let me tell you something, Pete. You need to know what a citation is, because I heard you say, boy, that quantum eraser, he shouldn't have said that. Well, Pete, you know what a citation is, right? We use citations so we don't post whole documents into arguments, okay? There was nothing in in Webster's that contradicted my citation. You understand that, right? Hello? Oh, you dropped that. You understand that, Pete?
Okay, I think I lost volume there for a minute, John. I mean, I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, what I said was, let me start over. You asked that guy to go ahead and put flat in the find,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like 14 flats showed up. Right, I was laughing. I was rolling here. Right, it was a dumbass Sean G. He's about a moron. But
Right.
anyway, they got you to admit. I heard you say that. Yeah, that quantum eraser, that was a little bit deceitful. Do you understand what a citation is, Pete?
Yeah. Okay. So just to get it clear, there, it did include that part definition in under it, didn't it? So I thought it would. Yes, I do understand what a citation is. I do.
Figured you did because, and he scrolled past it real fast, right? But it was too fast. I didn't think you caught it.
Right. Well, there was a few things considered, but overall, I think the point remains, right, John? If you're putting a citation where here we have a clear and distinct definition for level, and within one of those sub-definitions, we have this reference to level being equidistant from a central point on a sphere, then that should be noted as well. That's only fair enough, isn't it?
That's wrong because elevation shouldn't be taken from the center of the earth, Pete.
But I'm just talking about in terms of the definition. So under the definition at a subsection, we had this listed. So
Didn't
that's
say
all I was
that.
saying.
It didn't say that.
That's what I
Nathan.
think it did,
Hold
man.
on a
It
second,
referenced
hold on a
exactly what
second.
they were talking about.
Hold on a second. Whoever's
read it?
trying to jump in, it's me and Pete. Yeah, I can hear you, Pete. Go ahead. Can you go grab that?
Right, while you're doing that, I'm
Man, I
gonna start the
can't
live show.
because you'd be easier.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined, this is going to take me a little while, by Haunted House, Chocolate Sayin, Ibora, Jesus, Lottie, Meryl, Physics Warrior, Quantum Eraser, Right the Hand, Spurs Schemo, SX0, Strix, and Thunder, something or other. Very good to have
Point
you all.
remains the same, John. It's still included within the definition, so that should be mentioned.
Clearly,
And I
Pete
think
completely
that's fair.
ignoring my intro. Thank you, Pete. Wonderful. Good to have you all.
Hey, Nathan.
Hello.
Sorry, we were talking over you.
And we can't hear you properly as well, but we better.
Shout out to Level.
Shout out to who?
Yeah, you're getting stepped, Nathan. Anytime anyone talks, here in Discord, you get drowned out, man.
Right. Wonderful. That's good to know.
Yeah, but they couldn't hear the intro, Nathan.
I have your
So
volume.
Shout out to Sean's dad.
Yeah, like just happened to Betty. She starts talking, someone else decides that they're going to talk, and that's the end of that conversation, right?
yeah, well,
Exactly.
You started the second show now, I think, Nathan.
Yeah, I've
and
started
I
the second
don't
show.
think the panel was aware of that. They didn't hear your intro, so you were muted in the Discord server. So that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the conversation went on in Discord, and you went and opened another live stream. So that's why Pete was talking. So he couldn't hear you. So
But why was I muted in the Discord server? I didn't mute myself.
you weren't, but I think you closed the gate I think.
Oh, you mean the gate wouldn't open? This is why I hate doing Discord, because this is the beginning of a live show, and we've got so far 2 or 3 minutes of talking about Discord. Isn't that wonderful? This is so entertaining
I
for the
like
audience. Really pleased to be doing it here.
It's so intuitive.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. So rather than doing housekeeping, we're talking about, the fact that you can't hear the intro because other people are talking while the intro's going on. I hope.
We have to
Hangouts
figure
fix
it out, Nathan. We'll come around.
I just hope Hangouts gets fixed, because this just isn't the same. But there we go. Anyway, any signs of Earth? Any signs of
I'm
Earth
sorry, I
curvature?
stepped.
Just keep doing it, I would. Any signs of Earth-based curvature?
No.
No curve.
No. Nope.
Depends on how you define Earth. How do we define Earth when we come to a flat Earth? And then it's the Earth beneath us and all of its component parts, right? And its confines.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few ballers in here. Maybe one of them have found the curve and can let us know where it's at.
Or maybe
I've
not.
got curves.
There is no curvature. No, hold on a second. There is no curvature, but you can think of it as curvature.
Exactly.
Oh God! Clearly, you guys can't do without me. Hello.
Hey, Owen.
That's too funny, Arvin.
Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Nope.
Wait, Arvin?
There is no axial rotation, but you can think of it as axial rotation.
I would say of the Earth, it
No.
depends on what the nature of the skylights are. And if there's a source coming from the earthly realm here, then we could say that possibly yes to that, but not in the sense that you mean anyway.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
There's no confirmed measured distance to the sun.
Nothing here, Nathan.
Any scientific?
My answer to that would Nathan, would be it's the sun is observer dependent reflection. So instead of a distance, in that sense, there could be a distance to a point against which the sun is reflecting. So that might be the nature of the container, and that would be the point that we would all observe. So yeah, that's my answer.
What is your proof of an actual reflection? PJ, if you suggest that it is a reflection, that have any solid foundation as to what proves that it is actually a reflection?
Yeah, well, that's a different story.
Reflection.
That's
in the
different
mirror.
puzzle pieces that, which maybe will lie outside the realms of the scientific method, might point us towards, a greater old picture being formulated.
Can you try and keep yourself
But
on mute?
I've heard this theory before,
causing a
but
lot of
it's
background noise.
very Sorry.
What'd you say about the scientific method, Pete?
No, just a question that Arwen asked there. So I say lots of things would fall outside the scientific method, but that doesn't mean that progress can't be made by considering things in a different light. So,
true.
Can you
so
scale
that's
it?
what I meant by that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
I
Not
accept
everything can go
more
into the
than
scientific,
just the scientific method.
Only natural cause and effect relationships can go in there.
And I think that's a good answer in relation to the distance to the sun. So we all agreed it's a container of some sort. Now, if we just want to leave it there, we won't make any further progress, right? But if we want to think about it a little bit more, maybe we can make progress along that path. So to consider the sun as possibly been a reflection against the barrier, then the distance to the sun would essentially turn out to be the distance from you, the observer, to that point of reflection. And if there's a fixed container of fixed contour or dimension, well, then this would be my best answer to that.
That's an
Trying to drag
excellent
that,
point that I would
you can
love
move
to
on
get
now.
into, please, if I may.
I know, but still.
If I may. It's a great point I want to get into, if I may. All right? Okay, so yes. What if that is possible? Well, you just set the parameters as in the actual size must be it must have a specific set of dimensions. So technically, you would be able to miniaturize that somehow. Get a mini camera on the bottom of it, and then with a light system and the dome as a reflector, able to emulate rather accurately the heavenly functions. And if you get that done in some setup, then I would absolutely respect the idea if it were actually very much like the real thing. But as long as it's just an idea and there's no demonstrable correlation even directly except for the thought, yeah, then it remains into the realms of complete speculation. So, thank you.
Sure, that's fair enough, Arwen. And I'm thinking that if we had a conversation over, let's say, days, weeks, whatever, months, we could, I could communicate an idea a lot better and you would get a better grasp of it. But absolutely, yeah, no one has anything to go on here. So it was just my answer to the question in hand. Moving on.
I'm still waiting for somebody to basically do it. Build that thing. Just some flat earther that's just secretly hiding in his basement and just like the model guy that makes all these models. Well, maybe he will think of a new project and like, yeah, I'm going to really get it, an accurate miniature of the world and with a mini camera in it or something. And maybe somebody will succeed at it, actually. Who knows?
The best way to look at it is your eye. So look at your eye. Many people don't pay attention to their bodies, right? But especially their eye and the amazing instrument that it is. Take a picture of it and examine it close up, see what you might see. But yeah, we're into a different realm here, a different area. And I think Discord here is fucked up for some reason. I'm barely hearing you, Arwen, and no one else is speaking, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, you're coming
because
through
they're
loud
on
and clear.
Skype. They're on Skype, right? That's a problem.
Okay, everything's coming
Yes,
through
I am
okay,
on
though,
Skype.
is that?
Why are we looking at the human eye to determine the shape of the Earth? We don't need a model. We don't need to look at the eyeball. We need to look at Earth. We look at Earth. We look at how water behaves. We look at how air behaves. Those are the facts of the reality of the world we live in. If you're going to try and deny that, then that's all you have is to deny reality. I don't need to present a model that explains the entire world. If we were in a pool and the pool started growing in size to where we couldn't see the edges, there is no logical reason why we think it's going to curve underneath us.
That's a good point.
You don't need a model so people can realize that. If you don't realize that, a model is not going to help you. You'll just deny the model. So if you'll deny reality, why would you not deny a model?
That's a fantastic.
We think in pictures, right? My answer to that was we think in pictures. So we should all be trying to formulate our own picture as to true nature of our home. We know what it isn't. So now I would say it seems natural to me for the individual to want to figure out what it is. So that's the only reason I mentioned the I there. But that's a different matter. I'm on board everything you say there, man. So you're preaching to the converted.
Yeah, I think a model is pointless.
Basically,
because,
for us all,
the
there are
globe
two
has
major missions as flat earthers, basically to figure this out. And that is the physical and natural world, as in the world around us, the geometry of it, and how matter interacts, including like the relative density and all that. And then there is the finding the cause of the celestial bodies, how they work. And that's a completely separate issue. It's like almost, it's so different a direction to go in, even to find some kind of correlation that, it's two separate missions. But they're both very important to figure out the complete nature of our world.
What makes you...
Because both have great influence.
Makes you sure there's... Yeah, I was going to say, Ari, what makes you so sure that they are separate and that everything isn't interconnected?
No, but I'm not saying that they're not interconnected. I'm just saying that actually exploring these directions and everything that comes with it are just very separate normally. They're not very close to one another. You approach the physical world very differently as to the world of light that counts on a matter level as well, with like matter and particles. Counts as well for that as for figuring out why is it even there. You know, it's two different worlds.
Their mic
both
open
very
while they're
important
not
to figure out.
talking.
Wrong with you? If you're not
Who
talking,
has-
obviously, if somebody's in the middle of a sentence, you're not going to be able to talk. Just don't open your mic if you're not talking. Carry on, Arwin.
Yeah, I was kind of. Oh, who is that? Is that Paul or something? Yeah. Anyway, I was kind of done
That's a
making
different
my
matter. I
point.
think Laura came in with
Two
a good
different
question earlier on
directions,
that we need to spend time
but
on. Of course, there is
they
an
meet.
explanation offered via the Bible literalists, and that's fair enough. It is a possible explanation and a greater picture to describe, the true nature of our reality here. But it's not to say it's the correct picture. And
Right.
yeah,
But
when
I
you
agree.
entertain for too long or with too much seriousness people like Kosho here, we know that that's insanity in itself, because we know that no matter what information you bring to the table, people like him will just deny every time and bring us back, or try to bring us back to the same talking points, which, well, for me is futile. So definitely what we're talking about here goes beyond that. But
we could try to be more constructive, right? I mean, I don't know if Arwin can hear me right now, but you ever thought about talking to Chris Monk about making a model? Because I think he has some experience in doing that kind of work.
Cool.
How would we want to make a
Well, I'm great
reification
at
fallacy?
conceptualizing, so I'd love to help you out with any model.
Why would we want to make, wait a second, model of what?
You know how Chris Monk tried to make that model beforehand?
Conceptual models.
His...
Conceptual models by
Yeah.
different types of standards, John. Probably not scientific.
Yeah, so what are we talking about?
Exactly.
Cosmogony.
We're going to still be built on assumptions because we don't
We're
know what
talking
the
about
celestials
cosmogony
are.
and figuring out the possible natures of our reality and the realm we live in, and how that's going to work. And in the end, when the celestial and the earthly come together, that is where we figure it out completely, because they're definitely going to come together.
Figure what out.
In
Let's get specific. Get specific.
Objective nature of our reality, John. So I've often asked flat earthers, what have you replaced the vacuum of space with? Because if we are out about truth, because remember, this is our experience in our home, we've left a whole bunch of lies behind. So we want to know the true nature of our home. So yeah, it is taking that sort of screenshot or snapshot from a distance, the way the astronauts take a picture of the Earth from space. We want to formulate something like that for our own selves, So that's what I think it's definitely productive.
It's just be speculation, man. It'll just be speculation.
Well,
yeah, that's what we're
doing. It mightn't
We're
be.
speculating about the cosmology.
I asked you before, John, what have you replaced the vacuum of space with? Hang on, please. I asked John before, what did you replace the vacuum of space with? And you said most likely water. Now, that might be speculation.
I never said that.
I think you did, man, in relation to the Bible and all that.
I never said that. That's not what it says. The Bible says the waters
maybe you
are
said it
above
jokingly, John.
the firmament.
Correct.
Yeah, so water's beyond.
Above. Yeah, above the firmament, not space, not within the firmament.
I think
By the way, Pete Shea, if I may ask, have you
I just
seen
leave
my,
it there.
my last video?
Air pressure goes all the way up to the firmament.
I just leave it there because everything after that, what space is speculation. I know what it's not.
Yeah. So, John, let me ask you a question, man. Would you agree it's a container, right?
I don't have to agree. It's a necessary antecedent.
Right. So it's a container separating something from something else. So within is the Earth confine. That's what I mean by when I say I'm a flat earther, I don't just mean the Earth as in the ground beneath my feet, because that's only a part of the picture, So you agreed as a container. So there is a separation between something and something else. And we know it's not space, rather the vacuum of space is given. So needs must we're drawn to some other conclusion, right? And would you agree?
Yeah,
so my question is,
container,
would you agree that the nature of this container could play a massive role in further reckoning?
Of course it will. Of course, totally.
These are fair enough
Totally
questions.
Right. But maybe be careful with
there,
presumptions as to the nature of the type of container this world is going to have. Because it could be something very unexpected, very silly,
Buddy out
Or
there.
surreal. But it will be a container, absolutely.
I got
Right,
you.
so by asking, but on the path we're on, by asking the question and just taking John's answer there, he doesn't speculate on
He hasn't
that.
answered.
Well, then we're stuck
Arwen
at a dead
answered.
end. We're stuck at a cul-de-sac here. We're going nowhere, and that's
Yeah,
well,
but Pete, aren't we at a dead end as soon as we start speculating?
no,
Until
not a
that
chance.
speculation
Depends on who
turns
you
into
think you are.
something.
No.
Well, I mean,
Speculation is how new
speculation-
structures are found. It is how
One at a
brilliant
time, one at a
ideas are
time.
discovered.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
My answer to you there, Chocolate, no, it depends on who you think you are, right? And where you think you find yourself. Now, you've left behind the certainty of a fully explained life, universe, and everything via the men of science, right, and the great brains of the past. So now you're in a new realm. So who do you think you are asking these questions, man? That comes down, well, and you might have a different answer than I do, but me personally now, the more I think about this, the more I realize that in my own self, that all of this stuff is there for us to figure out, and it's by asking these questions, by speculating to accumulate, I suppose, that we can come towards greater answers, but only because of the greater nature of our own being as well. So that's my conclusions on that.
But Pete, all you do is speculate.
Again,
we get
I
anywhere,
agree.
Pete.
Yeah,
May I say something, or-
I've got massive inroads, John. Definitely, I have in terms of my own understanding, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day, isn't it? It's not about me trying to understand something and convince you of it. I'm trying to figure out the nature of truth in my reality. So yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
Why are you arguing with me? I just said it's just speculation. Why are you arguing with me?
I'm not arguing in that sense, but I thought you said, did it get you anywhere? But I might have misheard there.
Oh, all you have are speculations other than what you can validate through logic.
Oh, no. No, John.
And science.
That's not how it works. Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
how it
but
works, because you can't
but
validate
John, do
anything,
you-
Pete. You just
Oh, no,
speculate.
there's a difference. John, you're
John, do you not agree that it is
you're a good person
also
to be talking, but you agree
speculation
that there's
that
a higher power
eventually
behind
leads to
everything,
scientific
There's a different
discovery
Arwen, Pete and John are trying to have a
through
conversation.
potential experiments
Oh,
by figuring
no,
it
clearly
out?
not. Arwen, they're trying to talk and you're just trampling all over them.
Sorry.
And lots of people will be able to relate to this as well. You put a higher purpose to all of this, right? Now, what I'm saying is, okay, the scientific method has its limitations, but maybe there's a different great game in play here. And when I've been on my own path for long, you might say it's all speculations, John, but the way I look upon it, there's plenty of clues presented to us to figure out this reality. And in fact, it's all again. Earth was handed to us on a plate. Right, so whatever's happening is being unrolled. You might call it according to divine plan or something like that, but with some greater motivation in all of this anyway. So it's not idle speculation, but most especially, it's all about the individual here. So if you feel you're making progress in any of the greater questions that you have to pose, then that's far from idle. So otherwise, it's just some people talking, right? And I'm done there.
I just think it's speculation. You're talking about it's complete ambiguity. You need to get specific with me.
Well, I'm first of all not trying to convince you of anything here. I didn't come in to do that. But just in general, yeah, speculation. Well, otherwise you'll be left in a black hole, right? You'll have cast aside everything that's been presented to you as truth, and there'll be a gate.
You're saying everything, you'll cast aside everything. No, get specific.
And in terms of the things that you can prove or not, we're stuck at a certain point on flat Earth then, and we're stuck there for the last for many years. Because there are these limitations to the scientific method. When I ask you, what are the stars? What do you think the sun,
Why do
the
you
moon
keep
might
droning
be?
on? Keep droning on. Give me something specific.
I'm asking
Give
you
me
a question to find out how far you've advanced in your thinking, man. That's all. It's not droning on.
How far I advanced in my thinking. What the hell does that mean?
Right. Have you just left it? So when I ask you, right, stop interrupting, John. When I ask you what the stars are, what the sun is, why do you think the sun and the moon are the same size, for instance?
Yeah, I'll stop interrupting. Here, how about that? You like my interruption now? You freaking clown.
Oh, wow.
You drone on and on and on about absolutely nothing, about complete ambiguity, and you ask me to stop interrupting you? Get stuffed! Clown.
Okay.
You sat there with him 3 hours on level, didn't know what you were talking about, right? Oh, I think that he might have made a mistake with that. You're a moron. About
Well,
that,
I
Pete.
thought that Pete was actually making some great points.
Might
for
be
a
an
change.
agent.
What was that, Ren?
I agree. Usually Pete acts like a bit of a clown, totally. But I thought he today was making very clear, sharp points, actually. So
It's not ranty farming.
Okay. All right, post. What did he say? What was a sharp point?
the correlations. The correlations just of
Correlations.
the celestial bodies and the dome and yeah, how it could be. And we had a good conversation about it. It was great.
Oh, I was talking about he made some sharp points with me. Like what?
With you, no, that went nowhere.
Hey.
That usually,
Wow.
that's usually the case.
If you can't articulate it, then
When
he
people
didn't make a
interact
sharp
with
point,
you
Arwen.
and you get pissed and it goes nowhere. That's standard.
May I say something? Or
No, I'm just hearing some weak
Yeah, go ahead.
voices coming through. So somebody just spoke. I didn't know what they said. They were very quiet.
it's me. It's Jessica, but I'm not sure if. Like,
Yeah,
I think
we can hear
I
you.
might have to
Hello.
leave and come back because I wanted to say something, but I don't think anyone.
No, we can hear
Okay.
you. No, we can hear you. You're coming through clear.
Okay, cool. Okay. No, I just wanted to I wanted to comment on what Pete was saying and everything. Like it was, like I understood what he was trying to say, but you like, like I feel like it was a good back and forth in terms of like he was making points as in like, okay, you say that it's not this, it's not that, and you're trying to figure out what are we living in, what is our home, that. But the problem is that you can end up starting something and creating something, and it ends up being no different than the situation that we're already in.
Exactly.
You end like
This
the
is
whole.
what I'm talking about, Jessica. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, get specific. I don't want to hear people's philosophies. Get specific.
Okay, you're talking.
Word.
You're talking about what I was saying. Like, okay.
Anybody, I don't
Basically,
care
like,
who it is. I don't care who it is. There's no special treatment here. If you're going to talk, no problem. Don't drone on and on about philosophy, your philosophy this, your philosophy that, about what you're thinking, about how your thinking process is. Get specific. Point, claim, support. Claim, support. If you have no support
Okay.
for a claim, then don't make the
You want
claim.
specific?
This is pretty easy. You learned this in second grade, right?
Can you
Yeah,
back
I
off
was
your
just.
mic
I was
just a
just
little
Come on,
bit?
saying
people.
what
I have
Pete
a
was saying
specific for you,
and everything. What
John.
he was
I already
saying,
know.
and basically,
Well,
I can see the. Yeah.
I already know what he said, Jessica. I was sitting here listening to him.
Sorry. Hold on.
Fuck's sake, John, we're like some sergeant major or something who has the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and yet you don't even go on camera. You
I don't
deserve
care.
less respect than a lot of people, man.
You know,
Don't show your
Pete,
face behind your
bye,
strong conviction.
Pete.
And yet you go fucking
You know
muting
what?
people when I was asking you pertinent
Pete.
questions.
Pete,
Pete kind of has
Bye-bye.
a point there as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. There you go. Let's do that, and let's do it.
I'm so
Yeah, the don't go to camera, nonsense.
Wow.
His little game. Who's talking over me? Who's got their mic open? People,
Yeah,
you're
I'm back.
adults. You're grown-ups, okay? If you're not talking, turn your mic off. Okay? If you can't do that, then just leave.
Can you back off your mic just a little bit though, John?
My God, man. My mic is like 5 inches away from me. I don't know.
much
Maybe
better
I
now.
can take
Well,
it.
maybe
I'll
you
put
could
it-
just try to be a
I'll
little
put it
less
outside.
loud.
All
then.
good.
How
That's
about
much better.
that?
Thanks, Arwin. Yes, that's much better now, John. Whatever you've done.
Okay. Yeah, it's real far away now.
He was rambling. I couldn't. It's so frustrating when you listen to someone and John is just like make a point, make a point, make a point, and he just refuses to
rumpusing.
articulate
I
in
agree
some
with
sort of
Chris.
tangible point that we can discuss. He just won't do it. It's so frustrating. I understand. It's crazy.
I'm not trying to be a jerk.
You're kind of slick Jamesing
to
it, kind of.
stay away from the ambiguity and just make a claim and support it cogently. Is that too much to ask?
The tangibility of the world doesn't need a philosophical value to us.
Can I ask, because this is the main contention in flat Earth now, the difference between the people who believe that you can actually investigate the shape of the Earth and those who think you can't.
But we don't need to investigate the entire shape of the Earth if we have components such as water, air pressure, there never being an observation of a vacuum in nature, and the only time we have ever seen anything close to a vacuum it is contained. God. We have these pieces of the puzzle, and it comes together to look flat, and you just say no, and you rearrange the pieces and shove them where they don't belong to make a ball.
The point is, you make a claim, you offer support. Claim. Space is fake.
Chemo, support. You've been in here the whole time. I haven't heard a single word out of your mouth. Yeah, now he leaves.
Who?
Oh, he's trying to get in. Hold on, Spurs. So, try it now.
Yeah, so the point is, you make a claim, space is fake, then you support it with evidence. Second law of thermodynamics, that's your support for it. At that point, you get a rebuttal from your opponent.
I couldn't hear you. You cut out.
Can you hear me, John? What's going on? This is dire. I hate Discord. I just hate this.
The AI is out for you guys.
Not sure what's going on.
You have to grasp logos. You have to do it
I'm trying to
right.
ascertain whether our Discord can hear me, and Arwin decides that's the moment he needs to pipe up.
Of course. Yes. Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you now. Hold on a second, whoever's talking. Nathan, you got me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. So the point is, you make a claim, like space is fake, then you support your claim. Second law of thermodynamics. Then you see if you get a rebuttal. That's how it should go. Not endless droning about what space could be. Who cares? We don't know. If you do know what it isn't, and it's claimed to be something, then you can demolish it. Great. Make your claim, then support it with evidence.
Is that unreasonable to anyone?
No.
We don't want to hear your philosophies, right? What you think may be out there, what you think it might be. We don't want to hear philosophies. This isn't a philosophy forum. This is about the nature of our reality. Do you have support for your claim or not? This is quite simple. You know, not everyone's an agent. We don't care about who's an agent. We don't care about their orientation, their sexual orientation. We want arguments. We want cowbell. Just come in. You can present it calmly. This is my evidence. Now, if you start making shit up, we're going to catch you. And we're going to pound on you for a little while. This isn't romper room.
But come on, that's not entirely fair, John, because we don't know everything.
Because the whole point of the method was that years ago, a whole bunch of people came together and was like, we need a standard for determining cause. And they sat down and they hashed this out. So we don't need to sit down again and come back to it. They already did it. We have the scientific method. Let's stick to that.
Have to do it. They have to do that because everything is pseudoscience. All that they think is science is pseudoscience. They have to redefine it. There's no way out.
Exactly, because if the science was on their side, they would have no problem with the scientific method.
So that's why one of my favorite things to do to people like Kosho is when he goes, oh, well, you can just observe the sky. Then I go, okay, well, if we can just observe the sky, then I'm just going to observe it and make up something that isn't space, and you won't be able to disprove it because I'll just put it out of the realm of testability. And they go, well, you can't do that.
And that was a very poor understanding of what I tried to show you. You made that claim to me in chat. I'm just going to refer to the same post I posted, okay? So read that when you get a chance, and then make that argument.
How would you refer me to your argument that you make yourself and not a website? Because I never refer anybody, because I can make my arguments with my brain and articulate them with my knowledge of vocabulary and my mouth and ability to speak them. But you can't do that. You have to take.
You're right. I can't do that in this server.
Then why are you here?
I can't do that when people like Quantum Eraser and Nathan shut me up when I'm in the middle of explaining what they asked me to explain. The same thing you said I didn't explain fully.
Wait, hold on. Kosho, you right off the bat said we don't need to experiment. So right off the bat, before you even did anything, you pull the rug out.
And I did not say that.
See, Kosho's just interrupting you.
Ask me straight up, do you need to, they said, what did he ask? He asked me something like, can you do science without experiment? And I said, yes, you can.
No, you can't.
So
because you can
follow the science.
No, you cannot.
Without experimentation.
And that's wrong. And I showed you where it was wrong. You can't have science without experiment. The scientific method distinguishes itself from other forms of explanation because of its requirement for systematic experimentation. University of Rochester Physics Lab. Friggin' Richard Feynman. The key to science is experiment. Everything from the chair of physics at Yale, everything revolves around experiment. So
Right.
you're a clown, right?
That's
right.
Yeah, you can do science. But the question was specifically, can you do science without doing an experiment? The truth is, yes, you can make a measurement, you can take an observation.
That's not
These
science.
are things you can do that are not experiments that are still included.
Sorry.
Kosho, do you mean science, the umbrella term, or science, the scientific method?
No, I'm done with him because I've already exposed him 2 times now for his horse shit. He just whistles past the graveyard and says, yes, you can have science without experiment.
No, you can't.
So-
You're wrong, Kosho. You cannot have science without experiment.
He's a knucklehead.
Yeah, the University
I
of
don't know what
Rochester.
you're doing, Kosho, but I've put you on. Oh, somebody took you off that. Okay. If you start talking here again, I'm just going to kick you.
Kosho's
Listen to
just
that.
a dreamer.
Anyone that's taking, any moderators in here messing with Kosho's stuff, just to let you know. Okay?
The bottom line is,
Sorry
he's
about
made
that,
a
go on.
false statement. He said, no, you don't need experiments. That is factually incorrect. It's been pointed out to him with citations from universities, from Richard Feynman. And in the face of that, he ignores it entirely and says, it's the exact same point. No, you don't need experiments for science. Yes, you do. You're just
whole
wrong.
Group of people in here, and no one's talking. Phil Mitchell. As soon as I say these people's names, they bolt, they drop. Okay, here he is. Phil Mitchell, 1 second. You're off mute. Oh my God. Are you just messing with me, dude?
Probably.
All right. Let's see who else we got in here. Spurs Chemo.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh, there you are. All right, Spurs.
Just listening in. Well, I mean, you're handling the ballers already, so I think, Kosher's view is a little bit dogmatic. But again, I think they have to go with that view because they don't want to give up the ball just yet. So it's going to be very difficult to navigate through that because they have to stay with this viewpoint. So it's unfortunate, Kosher. Science is a method. It's very strict. We spoke about this last night. It's not our fault if you cannot manipulate all the variables or remove all the variables when you see a phenomenon. So, I completely agree. So it's just reiterating the same thing that people are becoming aware of, Kosher. Like this understanding is becoming very well known now. And to say this is a particular person's method, I think is unfair because this is the method that you would use to find out the truth or if something is true or not. So that's how I see it.
Oh yeah, he's just a clown. We expose him, and he just says the same thing over and over again, right? That he just got crushed with. I mean, this guy's a clown. Oh, it's like talking with children.
I think it's traumatic. For me, it's traumatic. Like I say, for them, it's something that they can't believe they've been lied to. Why would they be lied to? And things.
We don't care about their psychology. That's what we're not here for that.
I know. It's just little things like that, though. That's the nuts and bolts. So, drilling into their head one method is a challenge, I suppose, because they seem to think there's more than one method, and I'm yet to see that method.
You ain't gonna see it. You ain't gonna see it, because all they're gonna do is say and provide citation or sources that say there's more than one method to the scientific method, period. Right? That's all that they're gonna say. They're never gonna give you an example. They're just gonna declare it. Right? Well, that's a baseless assertion. That's a baseless assertion fallacy. Right? Any citation. Listen to this closely. Any citation that you post, put in a research paper, anything, must itself be supported. Or it's just a baseless assertion. I don't care who it is. If it's Richard Feynman, that's fine. If he makes an assertion, fine. He's got to back it up. And if you cite it, you have to back it up. You have to support it.
Interestingly enough, interestingly enough, I saw on space.com there was an article about how to reason with a flat earther, and it spoke about philosophy and how to deal with people who are dogmatic, and but what it seems to me, this is it's like they're describing themselves. It's like, how do we get around explain to somebody there's only one method? So
I don't do it anymore. I just expose them. And listen, this dogmatic stuff. Listen, I'm pretty dogmatic that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at sea level. I'm pretty dogmatic about that. I'm justified in being dogmatic about that. Why? Because it's scientifically validated. So be careful. You have to be uber specific in what you're talking about. Not just this ambiguous nonsense spouting off terms that you don't know what they mean.
I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, but it just makes the conversation very short, because now Kosho, he's an example like Kosho, not just Kosho, but just people like that. They don't have any room for a comeback or discussion, because there's one method, they either accept it or they don't. And
doesn't see this is the problem, Spurs. It's not what they accept. It's what it is. I don't care. Yeah, of course they're not going to accept it because it exposes them. I don't care. Go Google yourself.
Yeah, you're saying we should feel sorry for them because we're winning.
I'll just expose you, and that'll be it. Then you can go off and run around and play with your toenails.
You're saying we should feel sorry for them because we've got the winning argument and they don't have a comeback to it. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that you should or anyone should. I'm just saying that that's how I see it. I see their pain. I see their anguish, their agony. They're like, well, what do we do?
I totally agree with first.
Okay, so if it's not a ball, what is it? You're not going to tell us what it is. So I see the frustration on their part. So for
here's
me,
the cure. Here's the cure, Spurs. It's called
the tragedy.
So just have them do that, and that'll relieve their pain.
Didn't hear you. Arwen spoke over you.
Arwen spoke over me.
Yeah, just what's the cure?
Cure is lobotomy.
Yeah, it's not your problem. It's not your problem.
To cure their pain.
What about
our question? Any of the flat earthers in the room? Do you have a goal in mind?
What do you mean a goal?
Say that again.
I mean, like, what's your objective in the time you're spending in this community? Are you trying to persuade people of your position?
Well, our position is just a fact. So when we say space is fake, it violates the second law of thermodynamics. Those are statements of fact.
So why do you make those statements of fact? Do you have a reason for doing that?
Yeah, because the entire Western world's told that the space is a vacuum, which is incorrect. We've been lied to on a massive scale. I think that's worthy of talking about. Do you not think that's worthy of talking about?
I don't know. I was wondering if you had like a goal in mind. Like, you're saying that you have this interest in the subject because it's, in your belief, a lie, right? So there are lots of things I could choose to look at that I consider a lie.
You just misrepresented me.
I only have so much time, so why am I spending my time correcting this particular lie if I believe that?
Can I answer him, Nathan?
Sure.
It's to expose the lies, the darkness, thereby exposing the truth. That's what we're doing here.
I know I came to Flat Earth by listening to allegedly not Dan talk about it. So once he framed it in his particular way that resonated with me, in that the points he made, I was like, oh my God, it happened like a snap. So that's all we're out here. So hopefully we can pick up with somebody else and they'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't see it like that. And then they can see the truth.
I mean, when you think about it, nobody ever thinks about it because they don't want you to think about it.
With the level of indoctrination that we have today, people have lost their logical reasoning faculties. So it's sort of like trying to convince an idiot that they're an idiot. They're not ever going to see it.
Well, I could have said it better myself.
Hold on a second, Spurs. I was talking to somebody here. Did he understand what I said? I don't know who I was talking to when he asked what was the purpose.
I think it was Dark Star.
Yeah.
Dark Star, did that make sense?
Kind of. I think I don't know who it was that was speaking just now before you, but they were mentioning that something like that. I guess you're saying that they're all idiots, right? I think it might have been Zeppa. I think it's a hard kind of argument to make that all of the people who have as much experience and knowledge as they do are idiots for believing that the Earth is spherical.
Wait a second. Why are you talking about something else?
An accumulation of
Yeah, that's what they do.
You asked me.
That's what happens. So we're moving off topic then.
Hey, you just go on to the next topic, right? I explained to you what was wrong with my explanation, or do you? Was that
just
good?
Remind me, like, no, you can summarize your point because it was a little while ago. Actually, what your goal was in spending as much time as you do, trying to disprove this lie, as you say.
Okay, let me say it again. It's to expose the truth, and whereby exposing the truth, we expose the lies. It's a feedback loop.
But you wouldn't say. I mean, you're exposing lies. What's the truth?
Depends
Is the
on
truth that there's a lie because those are two? That's the same thing, right?
What the hell are you talking about, sir?
You're saying that the lies that they're perpetuating this lie that the Earth is spherical, right? So what's the truth?
The Earth is obviously and observably flat.
You're saying that the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Knowing that it's not spherical doesn't mean it's flat.
Yeah, I know that.
You accept that, don't you?
Yeah. No, I don't accept it. I know it.
So why would you say it's provably and observably flat then?
Because it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was waiting for Nathan to say that.
But you say it's not at the same time.
Oh, really? Do you want to give us an example of Earth curvature, please?
Oh. I want you to give me an example of how you can prove the Earth is flat.
Excuse me. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. Now, this point would be conceded by your high priest of sphericalness, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who makes it very clear it's observably flat. So what we take in, what we observe, what we experience is flat. That is a point agreed upon by both sides. Now, further to that, there is an extraordinary claim that it's not actually flat, it's actually curved. Now, I'm asking you if you have any example that you can give us of Earth curving.
I don't know, but I'm not interested in proving that point.
No worries, I don't need an expansion on no. I can't show you it curving, but somehow you need to debunk that it's curved argument that you're putting forward. It's obviously and observably flat. Any assertion of Earth curvature comes with a hijacking of perspective with it. In other words, they exclude the very nature of how we observe things and claim that what we're observing is actually Earth curve when things get smaller into the distance. All we observe is a flat plane and perspective. So I can back up my claim that the Earth is obviously and observably flat. There is no evidence whatsoever that it's curving. None.
But you wouldn't, at the same time, you wouldn't say that you know the Earth is flat, would you?
Listen closely. I know the Earth is obviously and observably flat.
Not provably flat.
Yeah, measurably flat. Hold on. Why'd you keep inserting these statements? Yeah, measurably flat.
So important.
Yeah, measurably flat. There's no drop measured. Maybe you could show us where it's measuring curved.
But you can't prove it's flat though, right? We all accept that.
Yeah, I've just said there's no measured drop. So you want to show me on maybe where they've measured it, like a map, where it shows drop, please? Because as far as I can tell, the elevations seem to reference sea level. So maybe you can show me different. Because as far as it seems to be measured, it's showing flat. It's measuring flat. It's obviously and observably flat. You seem to just have a problem with that.
It's not me that has the main problem with it. It's the scientific community. But you've already discussed your lack of respect for that community, right?
Scientific community.
Sorry, why are we now talking about communities?
No science.
Sorry, why are we now moving? Sorry, we're moving on then. You have not given me a single example of it not being flat. You haven't given me any
I'm not
example.
interested in proving that point, Nathan. I made that clear to you earlier when I answered
well, why are you
your
asking
question
me
the
then?
first time.
Why are you asking me then?
We are
here to put people to task.
I'm interested in how flat earthers come to the belief that the earth is flat. That's why.
Yeah, so your circle jerking asshole going to go back to your first question. I've just explained that, haven't I? It measures flat. There's
You
no
asked me
measurement.
why. I asked you,
why are
I
you
told
talking
you why,
over me?
because you asked me questions, I
sorry,
give you answers.
Dark Star. Yeah. You haven't got any. Sorry, why is someone else now talking? Crapper.
Nathan.
I'm in the middle of a conversation.
Dark Star said just a moment
Do you
ago,
mind? I'm
he
in the
said,
middle of a conversation, Crapper. Yeah, shut up. Dark Star, we've now got to the point where I've demonstrated with evidence. I've backed my assertion. It's measurably flat. You won't show me any examples where it doesn't measure flat. We've got sea level. So I've backed my assertion. And when I ask you to back yours that it's not, you have nothing. But yet you reassert that it's a belief. Why are you an asshole? That would be a new question for you, Dark Star. Why are you an asshole? That your answer, little chuckle. Little chuckle, I've backed my claim, you've backed it with I can't show curve. So where's the disconnect here, Dark Star? Why would you go back to the beginning and say it's a belief when I've backed my claim?
Your claim isn't really all that controversial if it's just put as the Earth appears to be flat when you look to the horizon.
That's not what I said.
Claim.
Sorry, why are you now putting words in my mouth? Are you fucking deaf? Are you stupid? Did you not hear the words I used? Oi!
You repeat them then.
Are you deaf?
I thought I did, but maybe I didn't.
Yeah, well, you didn't, because you didn't repeat them, did you, fuckwit? So you clearly are deaf.
Well, I'm hearing fine so far.
Well, you didn't manage to repeat what I said.
You said you backed up your claim with evidence, right? And you mentioned the
yeah,
sea,
what did I say was my evidence? Let's see how well you do. Let's see how big a fuckwit you really are. How deaf you actually are. Go. What did I actually say?
What was my backing? I wasn't really listening that closely to what you were saying.
Shit. That's what ignorant people do. They don't fucking listen. That's you, Dark Star. You didn't listen. Yeah, that's because you're fucking ignorant.
That's not very polite.
Yeah, it's a fact. You are ignorant. You've just told us quite clearly I wasn't really listening. Yeah, like that dumb, stupid kid at the back that's writing on the desk rather than listening. That's you!
That's more because I already told you that I'm not interested in proving a point you seem intent on making me prove. So that might be why I wasn't listening.
You're asking me for my evidence. What are you talking about? You've asked me to back how it's flat, and I have. Now you're talking about you not proving a point. I'm proving a point. I've proven it. I've given you my backing for my assertion, and you go, oh, well, I'm not trying to prove anything. Well, then fuck right off, you stupid muppet. Why are you even here?
I told you it's not impressive to say that your point that you're trying to prove is that the Earth appears to be flat.
That's not what I said. Again, dumb fuck can't listen. So you didn't listen, and you're going to reassert the shit you didn't listen to. Make up what I've said. Did I say that? No. So you don't know what I said, you've admitted you didn't listen, but you're going to misrepresent what I've said, having not listened. Wow, what a wanker.
Know what you said.
Yeah, you didn't fucking hear, but you're going to repeat something I didn't say anyway, for the second time. Asshole!
You say it's observably flat, and I'm saying that that's not an impressive claim to make. No one's really arguing about that. They're arguing about whether
observably a chicken. Oh, that's not a very good argument. If it's just observably a chicken, then that's not good enough. Yeah, it's observably a chicken. What more do you want? Well, no, I need you to prove that it's not. I need you to prove that it's not a velociraptor. I will only accept it when you disprove that it's not something else.
There, Dark Star. I'll just mute him. He's talking all over you, Nathan.
Yeah, he's a cunt.
Stepping all over you.
He's a total cunt. He's circle jerked us back to the beginning of his argument and then said, well, I'm not proving a point. Yeah, I am. It's obviously and observably and measurably flat. There is no demonstration of drop being measured. That's my backing for my claim. Yeah? Not just a statement. You want to show me where it's measuring drop? You want to show me on one of those maps where you've got drop measured? Oh, I'm not making any claims here. I'm just a wanker here to waste everyone's time.
I can respond now. You unmuted me. That's nice of you.
Yeah, you damn Skippy, I unmuted you because you were talking over him. Now answer the fucking question.
Well, I'm kind of impressed that you're suddenly seeing the value in observations, Nathan. I appreciate that. Because your friend Quantum seemed to be against them for a while there.
What the fuck is this straw man? Sorry, what is this red herring? So, you've got no demonstration of curvature. We're now moving off topic. You've not conceded. You've got no humility. You're an asshole who doesn't listen. You're ignorant. That's what we've established so far. We haven't established that there's curve. We've established that it's obviously and observably flat and measured flat. And there's no other instances other than that. It is the observably bloody obvious. But apparently that's not good enough. For you, the fundy with a belief in a globe. Yeah, we know it's not good enough for you because it doesn't conform to your belief. You're a zealot.
Nathan.
You shouldn't talk to people like
Darkstar, do you have a rebuttal to what I've said, or is this going to be an ad hom?
What value does observation have to you, Nathan? Because I thought it had no value, no scientific merit.
Sorry, what?
Your whole argument.
Sorry, put that in quotes. So put that in quotes, asshole. Where has somebody said that? Put it in quotes.
You have scientific value in observation now?
Sorry, has somebody asserted this, or is this a straw man that you've just made up? Because you seem to be dancing past my question for the 4th time, Darkstar. Yeah, I've given you my evidence for it being obviously and observably flat. I've pointed out there's no measurements for it being curved. And you want to talk about something else, do you, zealot? No, sunshine.
Your evidence. Observation, Nathan.
Yeah, what about it? We observe stuff.
You dirty mother.
I thought observation.
Yeah, so are you going to put a quote where somebody said observations aren't worth anything, as you've just claimed we say? We don't.
Why don't you have quantum eraser then if you put some
I'm asking you, dumb fuck. Put quotes around it. You straw man using, misrepresenting, ignorant idiot.
Well, you know, the ad homs are good replacements for
They're not ad
arguments,
homs. You have been demonstratively ignorant. Yeah, that's not an ad hom. You demonstrated it when you told us you weren't really listening and then misrepresented what I said, having made clear that you didn't listen to what I said. So you are an asshole. That's clear too. It's not an ad hom. It's a fact. When you tell someone you're not listening and then misrepresent what they say, that's the behaviour of an asshole. That's why I called it you. It's not an ad hom. You are an asshole.
So you see merit in observation, whereas whenever someone
it's just stated it's just made a statement. You see error in observation. Sorry, do you want to put some fucking quotes around that, asshole?
You would accept that you're not being scientific right now,
asshole.
Right?
Don't state what I state. You've just made a statement about what I claim. No, I don't claim that. I'm asking you, the asshole, to put quotes around it so we're clear what's actually been said for you to make that assertion about what I say. I don't say that.
On your shows, Nathan, why would I do that?
So you can't give me a quote then? You're just making shit up.
I'm not making shit up.
So give us a quote. Quote us.
Yeah, sure, I'll put it to you and you can correct me, okay?
Quote us saying
Quantum Eraser,
what you're claiming we say.
Of the room there. He claims that observations have no scientific merit. Yeah, I seem to notice that all of your arguments are based upon observations.
That's not a quote! Are you clearly deaf? We've already established he's deaf and dumb.
Why do I need a quote?
Listen to me, fuckwit.
I'm making an argument. If it's incorrect, correct
me. Quote. Don't tell me what he thinks.
Now
now he's talking all over me. What a wanker. Yeah, that's not a quote, Dumbo.
Go ahead, say what you have to say.
That's not a quote.
What you have to say, Nathan.
It's not a quote. You're telling us what Quantum Eraser thinks. I want a quote.
he said something to the effect that quantum erasure says observation is not part of the scientific method, or that I don't believe in observation. I don't know. He's either delusional or a retard or both.
Yeah, I asked him to give a quote to back that nonsense, and he just talks all over me and rumpuses the hangout. Or has a little chuckle when we point out what an asshole he is.
The laughing part is just because I'm hearing people that are adults acting immaturely. That's what makes me laugh.
You haven't addressed my point. You haven't addressed my point. So I'll try and say it slowly. Let's see if he rumpuses it and talks over me. There is no measurable curvature. It measures flat. It's obviously and observably flat. It's conceded as being obviously and observably flat by people like Neil deGrasse Tyson. That is my support for my claim that Earth is obviously and observably flat. Now, do you want to actually respond to that? Or should we move on to a different subject because you've been battered?
I want to talk to Quantum for a minute about
You're talking
his,
to me.
view on observation.
Yeah, I know you're like every other fundy zealot that comes in. They don't like talking to me because I don't let you move on. I don't let you change person that you're talking to. My name is Nathan Oakley, Darkstar. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. Do you have a response to that?
Yeah, I do, but I get the feeling it's not going to be much point in responding to you anymore.
Let's not worry about what you think might happen in the future, my son. Just show us some curvature.
I mean, typically when people do that, you start shouting, calling them names. You've already done that, I guess.
It seems like he's gone straight to ad hom, talking about what I do. Rather than actually giving us some curvature, he's ad hom me, talked about what I do, me personally. Ad hom fallacy. Should I say it for a sixth time? The Earth is obviously and observably flat. It's measured flat. We have sea level to reference. Your high priest of scientism, Neil deGrasse Tyson, makes it clear that it's obviously and observably flat. That stuff is flat. So, given that it's conceded on both sides to be obviously and observably flat, there is no reason to assume otherwise unless you, the fundy zealot who believes we live on a globe, demonstrates curvature. So can you do that, or are you going to talk about how I will react when you don't do it?
So you're basing your conclusion that the Earth is
flat. So he's straight to ad hom again. He's straight to ad hom. That's ad hom.
All right,
so your first words were you. You're going to talk about me again. That's ad hom. I'll say it for an eighth time. Eighth time for this fundy zealot. Fundy zealot who just all he's got is ad hom. You've just ad hom me again for the third time. Talking about me, aren't you? Addressing this at the man rather than the argument.
How is that an ad hom?
Can you someone mute him? Let's just explain to the audience what's going on. So I've asked him a specific question. Demonstrate curvature in the face of it being obviously and observably flat. His response is, you will. He starts talking about me. That's an ad hominem attack. Attacking me, the man, personally, not the argument. A fallacy. So, you've had it eight times. Yeah? You're going to actually address this fundy zealot? Or are you going to talk about me?
I don't know when you're unmuting me. You need to give me a warning when you're going to unmute me. I already addressed your point like earlier when I said I'm not interested in making a point like the Earth is spherical and going through the motions of your your usual fallacy
Darkstar, you did say that you've come here to disprove.
Definitely didn't say that.
No, you did. You said I have come. He asked you why are you here. You said, the reason I'm involved in flat Earth is because I want to disprove the lies."
What are you talking?
No, you said that to disprove a lie.
Definitely didn't say that.
You did. Okay. You actually, I've got the quote. You said it about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago.
Well, I was asking other people what their goal was, and if their goal was
to disprove a lie. Don't you think that it would be a good idea to prove something? Prove a positive claim that would contradict the lie?
Hey, Zeppa, hold on. Because Nathan and him were having a discussion. Just hold on.
Not a very productive discussion, Quantum. It's like...
I know, because you're playing little friggin' tricksy games. But
really.
do you think no one can see you or no one can hear you?
hope they can
Are you
hear
that
me.
delusional?
I'd be scared if they could see me, to be honest with you. That's not part of the plan. But
Well,
I was
do you
interested in
think
his
people are-
position. That's why I'm asking about it.
Do you think people were that delusional not to see right through what you're doing here?
Your audience might be more delusional than other audiences. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
So you're going to
You
attack
are
the
a
audience?
clown, sir.
Wow.
You're just a clown. That's all you are. Do you even know what science is? I'll tell you what. Let's ask this question. Do you know the 3 constituent parts to a scientific experiment?
I didn't really want to like answer a set of questions from you.
So you
I
just
kind of
wanna
wanted
ask
to ask
questions.
you about your position. Have you kind of
Yeah,
elucidated?
yeah. So you're just here to question
It's proven
us.
harder
You're
than
here
I
to
thought it would
question
be.
us.
because
We
I didn't really want to
understand. We get
answer any
it.
questions
Yeah, you
about
don't
your
need to keep
position.
prattling on. You're not here to answer any questions. You're just here to ask us questions, right?
No.
Yeah.
And obfuscate. Like an Elmer Fudd sophist.
Well, I'm not
That's what he's
obfuscating.
doing.
You're
Yeah,
not
you are.
obfuscating. No,
Answer
sorry,
the question.
sorry, John. Hold on. He says he's not obfuscating. This is the 9th time I'm going to ask. Let's see if that's true. The Earth is obviously
Sorry, Stan, I'm
observably
interested in asking
there we
questions.
go. There's an obfuscation. Seems you are obfuscating. You're talking over me while I say for the 9th time something you've not answered. All you've told us is you're not here to answer questions when I ask it. So you're not here to obfuscate. You are when I ask you something.
Can I help him out and answer it for him?
The
Well,
main
hold
thing
on.
I'm interested in is there seems to be a conflict between Quantum's position, which is that observations have no merit, and Nathan's position, which is that his
said
whole
that.
Here we go,
argument
back
is
to
based
this
upon
shit.
observations.
So here we go.
argument
Sorry,
right
John,
now is
hold on,
based on
hold
a
on,
straw
John, hold on,
man.
John, hold on.
Correct it.
Hold
You're
on,
not
John.
correcting my argument. You're just telling
I'm
me how
getting
to
you
make
talking
it.
over all of me now.
An
Right.
idiot.
So
Fucking clown.
yeah. So what you've just done, we already covered a minute ago. We wanted a quote. So you've gone back to this bit of shitty argument, haven't you? Again, you haven't addressed what I started to say for the 9th time. You interrupted it to say a misrepresentation of John's position without giving us a quote. So you've already done this twice. So back to this shit, rather than you addressing my point, which I'll try and say now, which you'll undoubtedly obfuscate. The Earth is obviously and observably flat, a point conceded by your High Priest, Neil deGrasse Tyson, when he states, that stuff is flat. You can't see curvature. It's never observed. It's never measured. There are no measurements on your maps for drop, and the sea is claimed to be level. In the face of this, there is no reason whatsoever, without evidence, to assume anything other than it being observably flat. Have you got any demonstrations whatsoever of it curving?
I don't know. I mean, I think I already said I'm not going to be answering questions. So I don't know why you're still asking that. I mean, you like to ask questions, I guess, maybe.
That's a no.
I know you enjoy that.
Is that a no?
Here's the thing: if you're wanting to ask
God.
questions, but you're not
Hold
letting
on,
them ask
Paul.
questions,
Is
that's
that a no,
Oh, Paul.
Dark Star? No, I don't have anything to back my fundamentalist religious belief in a sphere Earth. I just believe it. Is that what you're saying? No, I can't back it. I can't give you examples of curve in the face of it being obviously and observably flat. Is that what you mean? No, I can't.
You always get really angry whenever people do that. Yeah. I don't want to make you angry, Nathan.
Sorry, that's
Here
an
we go.
obfuscation. That's not a yes or no. Yes, I can prove it. Here's my proof to back my claim. No, I can't prove it. I don't have any proof. It's just a belief. That was the two answers to that closed question.
I don't know how to put this another way. I'm not interested in proving that to you. I'm interested in why you think the Earth is flat. It seems bizarre to me.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
I've
asking
just
you about
explained it. Did you not just listen? I've said it 9 times.
I said it at least 4 times.
Now you can't count.
And you can't
Are
get
we
it through your
done with
thick
him?
little head, Dark Star?
Just kick him out. This guy's a total wanker.
Nah, yeah. We're done with him.
And with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who've tuned in live on the Nathan Oakley stream, for smashing the super chat, hopefully liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. If you need to keep yourself occupied after this live stream is over, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Stay tuned if you are watching on Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
I agree with that completely.
This guy seems like he was sent here to do this.
Nah, he's just your average village idiot. Is Betty in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Now, do you understand why I banned him?
Yeah, I missed that bit. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing much more than you think.
Yeah.
The background
Okay.
here, so.
Okay. Then just take my word for it, right? He started talking about anal sex.
No,
right.
He didn't.
So
no,
just give me
nice
that.
for the after show, John.
This goes out on the main channel.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
Just a big apology. If there are any children watching, yeah. Very sorry.
Tough luck.
What? Ban me.
Sean's dead.
Rim versus rib.
But that's all they've got. Tactics. Use one point till it dries up. Move on to a different losing point. When that seems to be going badly, move back to the original losing point. Over and over and over.
Yeah, and then complain that you mute them, right? When they come out with just gibberish, right? Hold on a second, I'll be right back.
And
yeah,
they
come out
never
with
address
gibberish. At some point, I asked somebody in the Discord server to shut him up because every time I demolish his point, he starts reasserting it and repeating it over the top of me. That's the only tactic
Nathan,
they've got.
why is your mic so low on
me?
On Discord?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know.
Really?
What y'all could do if you don't hear Nathan too much, right click on his name, and you could put the volume up to 200%.
To 200.
Sounds fun to me.
You can go up.
200.
Oh, now I didn't know
you
could
can
do
go
that.
up.
Ah, that's very useful information. I wish I'd known that an hour and a half ago. So you can bump people up beyond 100. Excellent. Let's give that a try. Who was just talking?
El Boricua, which is my name is Eliza. I've been on before.
And mine only goes up to 100.
When your volume does, but other people could put you up higher.
Yeah, but I've got user volume. I can right click on you and then use user volume to turn you up, right?
Yes, correct.
Mine only goes up to 100. Oh well, I'll figure that out. It's going to be rough, these first few shows. If it is the case that, I know for a while Google have been saying that they're going to abandon Google Hangouts on air, but they've just always hinted at it, and it seems that I think they're just going to let it die a death. You know, they won't just cut it off and stop it, they'll just stop it from, you know, they won't update it, and then it'll just lose support on all the browsers.
Is there any way that you can set it up for on Discord so that like you have how would you say it, like you can trump anybody else when you speak?
I can't really say that again.
Yeah, is there any ways to set it up where if you speak you silence everybody else, like if for you to be like I don't know how to say it, it's like
gates.
Priority.
It has something to
yeah,
do with the gates. Go ahead.
Gates. I have got gates set up, and part of the software inside Discord is them setting up the gates as best they think is right. And they're not bad. I'm not going to moan, but if you've got lots of people talking at once, it just gates everybody out and lets the newest person who speaks speak. Well, that's useful if you want to interrupt, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Kosho had the most powerful mic. I'm sorry, somebody's talking over me again. Kosho had the most powerful mic I mean, he was blowing my eardrums out. He would just drown everybody out.
I can wrap my head around that with time. So with enough time, I'll figure the intricacies of Discord out. Like I say, I just hope it's not necessary to run all the shows like this, because it's inferior in many ways to the Google Hangouts, unfortunately, which is kind of what I knew anyway. But hopefully there'll be workarounds and the shows won't be. They'll get more polished. But it's like starting again. It's just annoying.
Yeah, I think there's workarounds.
How about a headset too, Nathan?
I think there's some workarounds. I think you could do it. And we have screen share capabilities in here also that we might want to try at some point.
Yeah.
John, what did you do differently? Because now you sound kind of the way Nathan's been sounding in the Discord. When before you sounded fine.
Yeah, I joined Skype.
So for the broadcast, you being on Skype is a million times better, and I've got you leveled up with everyone else. So on the broadcast, everyone's going to be, as much as I can, roughly the same volume. That's what I'm aiming for. But unfortunately, until I can figure out how to get people up to 200%, that might not be as easy as it sounds. But if someone else can get someone up to 200%, then I can.
So you just want me to join in on? You just want me? Hold on a second. You just want me to join in on Skype?
But for this, yeah, until I can get Hangouts back up. In other words, how it ran before is how it will continue to run for you, but I'll replace Hangouts with Discord temporarily, it might be permanently. We'll have to see.
Okay, got it.
Nathan, I have a quick question. Are you using the web version app of Discord, or you have the app itself?
Web version.
That's probably why you can't lift it up to 200%. I'm using the Discord app.
There was a reason for that. I can't remember. I know Anti's in the server, but I don't know if he's. There was a reason why I've used that version. I just don't know why.
Yeah, that's because of the screen share bit, by the way.
So I can screen share.
Yeah, it only works in the browser, and it doesn't work in the app.
Right. Also, there's.
But we didn't use it now, so we might have well been in the app.
But there will definitely be a need for screen sharing at some stage, won't there?
Yeah, I think that would be cool to try it out.
Through Nathan's mic?
Everything that comes through my desk.
Because she's on Skype.
So he's on Skype. Anybody that's coming through my desk locally to me is then filtered out into Discord through my line. So everybody that's with me, if you like, comes through my line, because they're obviously not in Discord. It's only me. So that you can hear them, it'll come through my line. Yeah, that was a bit of a shambles of a show.
What happened earlier, man?
I think just YouTube wouldn't let me into a Hangout. Wouldn't let me create a new one. Just kept on saying too many redirects. Delete your cookies. Yesterday it was there was just a flat out problem with YouTube. It just kept on showing me this little, I can't remember, a monkey with a spying glass, I think, and it would say there's a problem at YouTube end. In other words, you think, oh, okay, well at least I know there's a problem with them. But when I contacted Anton this morning, I'm like, I can't figure it out, and he's like, well, I think it could be an IP block or something like that. It could be something to do with Virgin Media, your IP. And I was like, okay, maybe I have to call them. But then, I tried it on various different countries through my VPN, and tried on different browsers. None of it worked. Tried on different channels. None of it worked. Obviously removed all my cookies and all that shit, which is a pain in the ass because now all the passwords have gone. But there we go.
Now, did anyone else have problems with Hangouts? Have you heard?
Patricia, apparently FeeHop had the same problem yesterday, so she had to abandon the live show completely because she couldn't get it to work.
Right. So you're thinking they're going to let this thing die?
Could be. I don't know. It's either it's a temporary problem which they'll fix, but given that they've said that they're going to let Hangouts die, well, they said that months ago.
Right. So, Ballbusters this week.
Yeah. Tomorrow. because this is going out on the main audience. This now is going to the main audience on Nathan Oakley 1980. So hello, all the people in Nathan Oakley 1980. Be sure to tune into Ballbusters tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. Central.
We're gonna pound on some Georges.
So that's
It's gonna be something to see, brother.
In America?
Oh God, here we go.
Say again, Essex.
I couldn't hear you, Nathan.
In the middle of the night for us in America, right?
Here we go. Thanks. I was talking to Nathan. Appreciate that. The middle of the night. Please tell us about the middle of the night. I want to hear this.
He asked about Ballbusters timing. 2 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. UK. Just after
which is about 3 p.m. Eastern if you're in America.
Thank you.
So we're going to pummel the two Georges.
Yeah. You got George and Knucklehead and George Musser. So I'll tell you what, it's gonna be bad, man. I'm gonna tell you right now for those two imbeciles. Well, let me just say this. That not George Musser. I don't mean to call him an imbecile. Like I said, he was an amiable chap, and I like George Musser. The real evisceration is going to happen to the Jose's clown. It's wait till you see this, man.
I think we've focused on Musser. I don't know if you noticed, but I trimmed out the piece of that hangout a couple of days ago.
I did notice. Yep.
So he's been addressed, to the point where people are quoting him. So people have been pretty quick to jump on that bandwagon. And yes, he's a pretender clown. He might be an amiable guy, but he's been pummeled, right?
Yeah, it'll be a short one with him, because all we need, all I need is one of the first things he said. But there's 3 quotes and 3 interactions with Fat Earth. It'll be real quick with him because you heard what he said. Did you watch the video?
Not yet. I just haven't had time. I want to.
You'll know when you watch the video. So it'll be real quick with that, George.
Yeah. It's going to be another one of those days today. As soon as this show finishes, I've just got a list of work to do, things to figure out, things to mess around with. Not that I want to do any of it.
Hey, my butt's not bleeding for you, brother, because it was like whack-a-mole tornado here last night. Tornadoes everywhere. This morning, it wasn't even raining cats and dogs or cows. It was raining barns.
Wow.
Right? So I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just kidding, man. It's been pretty bad here for the past 3 weeks or so. I mean, I can't believe it. So it's pretty bad here. A lot of flooding, tornadoes, there's some fatalities. I haven't checked the news yet. So
I take it you're other than your surrounding area being affected, you aren't directly affected.
Yeah, I was directly affected by getting up at 2:00 last night and running outside to get into a tornado shelter. Other than that, trying to catch the cat, get him in the dang carrier.
Oh, so there's a full-on possibility you could have lost your roof then?
His barn. His woodshed.
Yeah, I could have lost the old woodshed.
Yep.
It's just the nature of the business here, living here. I mean,
only that he doesn't have a basement.
Yeah, I don't have a basement. Oh, are you trying to dox me?
Well, you had to run to the neighbors. Everybody heard it.
Yeah. I had to run to get to it's sort of a tornado shelter that we got going on. It's like a little neighborhood one.
So they can never tell you that you are working from your basement. Huh?
That's right. Thanks.
Sorry. I had to add that.
Yeah, and the storms. So we're talking about the weather. The storms keep tracking over the same areas. There's been over 10 inches of rain in a short period of time with some of these places. So the flooding is massive.
Yeah. So they said on the news here that there were 130 tornadoes in the last month, I think.
It had to be in the last 2 weeks. Even in the last week, it's been really bad, man. They've been closing schools the day before. They're anticipating this stuff. So sorry to get in on the weather. It's just we can get off that now. It's just what it is.
So
quantum.
Go ahead.
Did you hear that report about the Pentagon pretty much doubling down on the UFOs, practically, that they have been observing, investigating UFOs, which they technically say unidentified aerial phenomenons, and they're currently investigating to some extent or something. Like it's like they're trying to double down on outer space or whatever.
No, I haven't been following it. I'm not into all that alien nonsense. I know what they are. I know what they're trying to hide. I know what they're greasing the skids for. So I don't pay any attention to it. Now their space thing. What are they saying? It's not a vacuum now?
Pretty much, another that you're saying that they're. I mean, pretty much, I feel like they're trying to double down on. Oh, there's stuff out there, practically, or something like that.
There's stuff out there. See, I need specifics. If you got anything from the video or presentation today, you kind of got that I was into specifics, right?
Definitely got that.
Like, what did you say? Greasing the skids for what now? You know they're greasing the skids for what?
They're greasing the skids, man. We talked about this before.
You mean greasing the skids for their pseudoscience pretender clown claims about the vacuum of the sky? Or is the
No, the aliens are conjuring of a mission they got coming.
Oh yes, I do vaguely remember us talking about this now. I do know what you're talking about.
Right. I didn't want to go down that road.
No, that's
here.
fair enough. No, you've said that. I see why.
Yeah, you're like, fair enough, thanks, John.
Yep, that's brilliant. Yep, penny dropped. Good stuff.
That's why I was walking softly, right?
Fair enough. But you could also, I know you have your opinions on that, but would you not say that just the space narrative with aliens in general is useful for perpetuating the ideas of space?
Yeah, it's the whole everything. Like I said, everything's connected. I mean, the hierarchy of the pseudoscience priests, they're not stupid. They're doing this for a goal. They're not just doing it, just because I.
Oh, have we lost Skype?
No.
Lost John. Those damn tornadoes.
He's running to the woodshed.
Yeah. So, will you, at some point, maybe in the next few days, help me fine-tune Discord, Betty?
Yeah, sure. Of course. But this was a sort of a rescue mission for me to you. You were lucky that I was home, by the way, because otherwise...
Unfortunately...
I'm sorry, I got dropped.
Yeah, you're running over us now. Shut up.
Okay.
I was just going to say, it's one of those, at least I've actually got it on the computer, I'm signed up, I've got an account, I know roughly how to use it, and Anthony was good enough to set up what's on screen now, the list of participants.
Yeah.
So it works to a fashion. I didn't have to cancel today's show, which is something, just a bit of a shambles. Or it seemed that way to me from this side, and I was, I'm just about relaxed now after the end of 3 hours of doing it with stuff running, but setting it up tomorrow.
You were quite irritated, man.
I was.
Well, the thing is also, Nathan, I think that running it with Skype and Discord is also more difficult than just dropping Skype at all and just only from Discord might be better.
It isn't. It isn't.
Then
I think if we can get the same sort of level of participation for Ballbusters, I think it would be easier to have the Ballbusters team on Skype because it's clearer. Yeah. It seems to be clearer, not because it's clearer, because it is actually the clarity once you're talking. If you've got your gate open on Discord, is better, but it's easy to just, as we heard today, just rumpus the crap out of the person talking.
Yeah, well, we opened all the mics now, so everybody could join in. at random, right? So we can also say, well, you're muted unless you're spoken to, right? So that's in the Ball Busters, when you have a panel and you want to speak to people, you can shut everybody up and listen to people. And if you are able to do the Discord server yourself and mute people yourself, it's better, right?
Fine. I just have to learn how to do that.
Yeah, because when I mute people, or John does, then it's all of a sudden, and it's better than you do it and say that you do it, because that's clearer to the people that you address.
Right.
So we have to basically wait until you give us a sort of a sign from mute that person, because I want to get my word in, and then I will act on that. But I don't want to be a showstopper by muting people at random.
Sure.
Yeah, I was in charge of that. I was feeling my way through it. It was pretty intuitive to me when to do it, when to mute him, when to take him off mute. So I was doing that.
Yeah, and I was unmuting again.
Yeah, I know. I know you are. That's the problem.
Well, I think that people need second chances, and maybe they have something.
No second chances after what had happened, what I told you when I first came on here. Now, second chances, there are no second chances after that. So
well, it's good to have these rules stated then before that we start.
Oh my God! So let's start. We'll talk after this.
But it just seems to be the same tactic every time. You know, make a couple of points. When you get defeated, move on to a different point. If you get held back to the point that you were making that was garbage, that you were defeated on, come back to an older point that you made beforehand, or reassert the position again over and over again. That's like the method that they have.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about, the first issue when I came on. The Dark Star guy. Yeah, it was just intuitive. He was talking all over. I could hardly hear you. I could only hear little clippets, and that's why I knew he was over talking you. So I just shut him up after he was making, he was doing the old circle jerk, not answering anything, just playing his little Elmer Fudd Sophist game, as they all do. They all do it, right?
Right.
You got Kosho. Oh yeah, about experiments. Could you do science without experiment? Yeah. Give them 3 citations, right? That I don't even know why I need to even say it. And then after they're done, he goes, yeah, you could do science without experiment. I was ready to friggin' just kick him out.
Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be adults. Yeah, but that's a little different game, like I said, than the first issue. I mean, the guy was saying a bunch of vile stuff, and then he got moved to somewhere else. In betwixt, I muted him, put him on deafen. Somebody took him off. Right? He starts talking again. He's starting to talking the same stuff. Then he was moved to the woodshed, and then 2 minutes later, he's back in the hangout or the live stream and talking the same vile stuff again.
Well, the thing is, he can be in the live stream talking while being in the woodshed. You have to live mute him or mute it also in the stream. So I was just busy doing that.
Okay.
While you interrupted me.
Yeah. But why was he talking?
I don't know. I didn't see him talk.
When you live mute him, he's muted. Oh, you didn't see him talk, but I heard him.
Yeah, well, I was busy also doing other things. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really understand any of this. I'm sure I'll get familiar.
Yeah, well, we have to give you a tour through Discord.
Yeah, we may have to do a little dry runs, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow or something, and over the next couple weeks, just to get used to it.
Why does the panel fill up so much? So, from what I can see in the panel right now, there's just a buttload of people all on mute.
Yeah, they're listening to you.
And Betty, you can
Human
move them
Shape
out of
was
it.
muted permanently for some reason.
Yeah, most people can unmute themselves. Hey, Betty, did you move them to the after show?
No, I didn't.
I'm not in there. I can't move them. As soon as they come into this show, they are muted.
So what?
But if we...
Sorry, I've just got a question. So, at the moment, because we're still recording, why would you move them to the after show? What's the purpose of that?
Anyone can enter the after show, and they're not immediately muted. They can just talk.
It's like somewhere to put them in so they can talk amongst themselves.
Yeah, they can continue on when you're done with your show. Then, if the discussion is still going, that they can continue to talk, and new people can come in without a moderator having to take them off mute.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my opportunity to round out this after show. So with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who've tuned into the Nathan Oakley premiering stream. Hopefully you smash the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. If you need to keep yourself occupied after this live premiering stream is over, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley. Massive thank you to all of today's Discord and Skype panel. I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!